Who would have guessed I make this mistake on camera and make myself look like an idiot?
See what I did? Did you see it? Did you see it?
I've noticed something.
That was absolutely stupid.
I've just noticed something.
I can't believe I was that stupid to do that. Anyway, I'm in Alicante. Show you the castle. Show you the castle. Hey, look at that. That's high, isn't it? Not much of a view from there, so let's try this side. But yeah, it's nice and sunny outside. Unlike most days that's been raining. Let me show you outside. There's the castle up there. Right up there. That whole thing there, that's the castle. But yeah, it's quite a nice place. Not bad. I like the town. Food is crap. Food is absolutely crap. I'm sorry. I'm not fully bored or anything like that. Yeah, we go out every day. Just grab something to eat. It's all the bloody same thing. Wherever you go, it's the same. There's no difference. It's either paella or tapas. Paella, tapas. Paella, tapas. And to be quite honest with you, the quality ain't that good. But yeah, I hope you enjoy spending the day with me doing radiators. Oh, my hat is a bit skew, isn't it? A bit skewish. And watching me make this colossal, stupid mistake. And to be honest with you, I think my critics are gonna love this video. Because it just shows how human I am and how I actually also make mistakes. Enjoy the video. And if you like it, give us a like. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe, because I've got loads more coming out. I'm not just saying it, I've got a lot of content stored on my phone that I need to release. I just didn't have any time. And I feel like I've got to explain myself a little bit. So the day after this video was shot, I actually took a flight to Spain with my wife because it was her birthday and we went on holiday. It was only a short trip of 4 days. And even though I did get a little bit of time just to shoot a few little shots to add to this video, and my full intention was actually to edit this video while I was on holiday, I felt it was a bit wrong of me to do so. Because it was her birthday, we were on holiday, so it was a bit awkward for me to sit there and edit videos while I'm on holiday. I mean, I'm there to spend time with her really, and to relax and chill and forget about work. So I told myself when I get back, I'll sit down and I'll edit the video. But then life takes over because I only had 1 day here of work. And then I had to go on a trip to Cheltenham. So Professor Plum and Be a Plumber, they said, were invited by Plumpel to attend Cheltenham. And I got an invitation as well. So I couldn't refuse. I mean, it's Cheltenham and a damn good excuse for me to meet up with the lads. And trust me when I say we made the most out of it. I mean, it was absolutely brilliant. To be honest with you, the whole Cheltenham experience was amazing. But for me, the thing that I most take away is actually the time I spend with these lads. We all have really busy lives, but to give that up for just a day or two and come together and have a lot of fun, laugh, relax and enjoy ourselves is what makes the whole experience a whole lot of fun. Even though we got overexcited on the prospects of winning and we didn't, doesn't really matter because we winners already. But of course, you know what they say, when everything goes right, obviously something has to go wrong. And my van broke down, so to get back to Manchester was a nightmare. And when I finally got back 2 days later, the van broke down again. I mean, I've got an emissions fault, which is to do with the AdBlue, so I had to get someone out. So my mind is just not being there. I've just not been in the mood to edit or make any content. But I finally stopped feeling sorry for myself, and I sort of came to a conclusion that I've got to edit this video at some point. So I might as well just get it done and put it out there because you kind of deserve it. You've been waiting for it. And finally, I got some good news because today the van got fixed. Everything's fine, it's all sorted, so I'm back on the road. So that was all a big weight off my shoulders. And finally, I can do what I actually love doing, and editing this video for you guys definitely falls under what I love doing. I got a total of 7 radiators that I've done on this property. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. What happened to that radiator that you hanged and you showed right in the beginning of the video? Well, I'm going to come to that. I mean, there's quite a bit of work still to be done here and to go through with you. But that was a bit of a stupid mistake. One of my dumbest moments in life, to be quite honest with you. But it actually just proves that I'm human and that I don't hide all my mistakes that I make. You know, I actually think it's quite important for people to learn from my mistakes, not just learn from my successes. I mean, we all make mistakes, but we don't all show them. And I for one think that showing all our mistakes is better than hiding them.
Well, I'm certainly a world far away from hanging radiators, so I hope you enjoy the video as much as I'm enjoying my orange juice.
With a gorgeous view like that. I really don't know how is that going to benefit you. Me putting a video of me having an orange juice at the seaside. I know one thing for sure. It really doesn't help me because basically I'm now stuck in England back at work looking at those memories and wondering, well, I really didn't want to come back. I wanted to stay there. I wanted to enjoy the moment a bit longer. But now I guess I'm back doing radiators. And that's okay. I mean, it's work. We just have to carry on with it and put up with it. So there you go. I've had quite a lot of questions about that Rapid Blue stuff on my social media. So people are asking how good it is. Well, let me just try and explain. If you got a fitting that you don't intend removing again, then that Rapid Blue stuff is good for it. The product is made by Today's Tools and it is a brilliant product. But there are a few things you need to know. When that Rapid Blue stuff sets, it sets rock hard. And there's no taking it off without heat. Now, as to how good it is and how watertight it is and what is the success rate that I have with no leaks using that Rapid Blue stuff, well, it all depends on the user really. If you're gonna apply Rapid Blue to a fitting that's wet or really dirty, you're not going to have success. It's like anything really, preparation is key. So if you're going to apply that Rapid Blue stuff to an existing radiator, ensure that it's dry. You got to ensure that it's clean. Otherwise that Rapid Blue stuff is not going to really take properly. It's just not going to cure right and you're going to end up with leaks and then you're going to blame the product. Now I have seen a few plumbers being quite negative against that Rapid Blue stuff after using it once or twice. But I tend to think that they've not given it a chance. They've actually applied the product wrongly or applied it to a wet surface or a dirty fitting. It failed on them. And you know how it goes. It's human nature. It's much easier to blame the product than blame yourself or look at your own mistakes. So you just lash out. You just go, yeah, that product is crap. And you kick it across the room and vow never to use that again. And you move on to a next product, which is probably going to fail on you if you don't apply it correctly either. But if you ask me, I actually do like the product very much and I believe in it. I think it's actually good. I think it does do what it says and it's much faster to use than PTFE and much more reliable than a lot of other products out there. But let me just state that there's no right or wrong here. PTFE is a brilliant product. It's been around for years and it's still going to carry on being around for many more. There isn't a product out there and there will never be a product out there that's going to completely replace PTFE. Forget about it. It's never going to happen. Every now and then we try a new thing. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And what works for you might not work for me. Vice versa. So I can scream and dance and all sorts about that Rapid Blue stuff and you will go and try it and not be successful with it and not like it. For me, I usually do my research. I don't go by what other people say. And then I try a product and I try it again and a little bit more. And then if I've got some success with it, then I'll stick to that product. But I can't truly say that I'll ever go off normal PTFE.
We've done that one. On to the next one. We might as well just start on this one. It's 500 by 500. That's going to go there. So firstly, just work out the centers. So we've got 580 to 90 center. And then I've worked it out already. 280 to the bottom of the radiator bracket. 300. So it's going to be 150 either way. So there. And you have 300 there. That's it. Pretty much a straight line on there. So essentially what I do, I get this bracket on first and then I'll level across to the next bracket and I know my brackets are nice and level instead of trying to work out from the bottom there. So on this one we're going to use the bull fixings. Getting there. Only a tiny radiator, so it doesn't need the big ones.
Now, if you've not used these ball fix fittings before, then honestly, you need to give them a go because they are pretty good. So they're meant for plasterboard with a cavity minimum depth of 20 mil. So if you got insulated plasterboard walls, these will work absolutely fine. And most dot and dab walls does have that 20 mil behind it, so that works fine as well. And they hold quite a lot of weight. You'll be surprised. I think it's something like 118 kilos that each one holds. We recently done 9 apartments and most of the walls are stud walls and dot and dab walls and insulated walls, and we had to hang column radiators on them. We used the ball fix on them, and I was really impressed with the fixings I got. I mean, I did use the new bracket that they brought out, which is like a triangle bracket with 3 fixing holes, and they worked really well. For these radiators, these fixings are more than enough. Now, I have used a combination of fixings on this job, but these ball fix fittings are definitely my favorite. Now, let's be truthful. As a plumber, spending a whole day hanging radiators and connecting radiators up is not the most exciting jobs out there. And I think, as a plumber, is one of the easiest tasks a plumber can get is hang a radiator and plumb it in. You might be surprised if I tell you that not all plumbers hang the radiators the same way. Each person has got their own way of hanging the radiator, their own little formula, where they start and where they finish. And no one ever agrees which one is the right way. There's nothing hard about this job. This is a refurb, so basically I could access inside the floorboards at any time. I could put all the pipe work in, and I done all my first fix. I worked out where all my pipes were going. It's not like a fully furnished house where you have to pick up the carpets, move furniture, take floorboards up, and then reroute pipe work. You know, customers will have a plumber out and they will say, okay, I want a radiator on that wall, and not even give it thought about the pipe work or the disruption that it's going to have. To start off with, you got to empty the whole system. Then you got to move furniture about, pull the carpets up, access underneath the floors, work out where your runs are going to go. And then you got to lay new pipe work, reinstate everything, fill the system, add inhibitor, bleed the whole system. And all this just for one radiator. And then you end up having a customer which does not understand the price that you are giving them. Now, I can gladly say that I don't get many of those jobs, and when I do, my customers tend to know what I'm like, what I charge and how I work, and they do appreciate my work. But all in all, I take my hat off for guys that are doing jobs like that day in, day out, because it can be a bit of a headache, to be honest with you. Don't get me wrong, this job is not without its challenges, but we have different challenges. Like, for example, the customer supplying all the radiators, even though you recommended a supplier, they gone to someone else. So you don't know exactly the quality of radiators you're going to get until they all there at the job. And then you've got to physically send them links and explain to them what valves you need. And it can just be a bit tedious when the customer doesn't actually know what they're getting, but they want to get all the materials themselves. I don't mind doing these refurbs, but I'd rather much prefer to supply everything myself and choose the quality that I want. Just agree a price and then I will supply everything, and then it's down to me. But if the customer chooses to supply all the materials, I'm not asking any questions. They are getting fitted. If the radiators are inferior or if they're not good radiators, they're all going to get fitted. It's not my problem. If you're getting a plumber to do the work for you, just honestly, take my advice. Get the plumber to supply everything. Save yourself a lot of headache, because when the plumber gets there and you not got everything or you got some stuff wrong, it's just going to cause a lot of grief for you and for the plumber. Let's carry on. Let's do some more. Let's try and finish all these rads. But I actually love doing tutorial videos, but honestly, once you've done 3, 4, 5 radiators, there's no point in actually mixing tutorials with videos like this, because there's not much you can learn. I like to get stuck in and explain things properly, and it just gets so long-winded. I don't know, maybe this video is long-winded, so I fast forward this section because honestly, the radiator after this one is where I actually make the massive mistake and I make myself look like a total idiot. I don't really know what was going on with this angle. I mean, I placed the radiator right in front of the camera, so I only got like half a picture because the radiator is in front of the camera. But here you go, I'm just marking out and measuring where the brackets are going so that I can drill it and hang all the brackets, and then hopefully just hang this radiator, and everything is gonna go well because I know it went well on this one. I mean, this was working out quite well because we had a routine going. Stan would get the radiators to the right locations, he would unpack them, get all the brackets ready, unpack everything ready for me just to mark all the brackets, fix them, and hang the radiator.
And there you go, that's all. So now, just fit the valves.
Just fit the valves, I say. Just fit the valves. Yeah, sounds simple. And it is simple. It's really, really simple. But sometimes the most simple things in life are the ones that catch you out the hardest. These radiator bungs were actually one of the hardest I've ever tried to get out. I mean, they were really awkward to a point that one of them I completely smashed because it was just not coming out.
Do you know what I wonder? Seriously? I wonder why they call it that rapid blue stuff. If anybody can tell me why they call it that rapid blue stuff, it's quite interesting, that one. Never thought about that, you know. Why do they call it that rapid blue stuff? Don't get it. I really don't get it. You should have just called it Smurf glue.
At this point, I was just thinking about my holiday because obviously the next day I was gonna go on holiday and I wanted to get as much done as possible on this job. So I was kind of rushing things a little bit, and then I was also trying to film and I was concentrating on the takes that I was doing, and I think that was a major contribution to the most stupidest mistake any plumber could ever make, especially on camera. But just pay attention to this routine. I mean, Stan comes in, starts picking up all the tools that I don't need. He knows how far I am with this install, and he knows exactly what he needs to take to the next room for me to get stuck in.
That's done. As easy as that. Why do people overcomplicate jobs? I sort of don't know the excitement behind watching me do radiators, especially when I'm doing like one after the other. But look, I'll try and make it as educational and as entertaining as possible. Now, we're not going to use the ball fix on this one.
We're going to use the hollow walls from raw plug.
Pretty good, they're not bad. I don't really know why they call them penny washers, because they don't cost pennies, I'll tell you that much. They've gone up a lot in price. Put that across. Make sure we got 400, which I think it is. No?
Well, this is the start of it. I'm doubting myself to a point that I've got to remeasure the brackets just to make sure, and I was wrong. Just say my lack of concentration was non-existent, and it was inevitable that I was gonna make some mistakes. And even though I don't class this mistake as a big mistake, I class it as a really stupid one. If only I followed through with my level of detail and concentration, this would have never happened. But I guess it didn't turn out that way, did it? And I guess now I'm ready to hang that radiator after all that hard work. Yeah, I'm sure you spotted it. I'm absolutely sure you did, but I didn't. Not even when I picked the radiator up, not when I took it over and hanged it on the brackets. I didn't notice. I was quite chuffed with myself. And then I started doing the rat tails, and I still hadn't noticed it. Okay, rest assured the penny's gonna drop very soon.
Your bleed valve and your end cap, you put those on. I've noticed something. I've just noticed something. I've put the radiator upside down. Look at that. It's upside down. That's just ridiculous. That's just stupid. You know what? This literally gives you a few minutes and then it sits solid. So you don't want it to be sitting solid, because if it sits solid, I'm going to struggle to get it out. We don't want that. Who would have guessed I made this mistake on camera, eh? And make myself look like an idiot. Well, at least it's going to be blooming entertaining for you lot, isn't it? Ah, look at him, SRV, you cowboy. Never mind. It's done. I was wondering, what the hell? There's something wrong here. right? But I just didn't click. I didn't click at all. And Stan was stood there, he didn't say anything either, to be honest with you. He just kept dumb. But he usually does that, you know, he sees me do something wrong and he waits until it's all done and then he says, yeah, you've done that wrong. Well, thanks a lot, mate. Right, so we want to clean that. These two holes. Look at that, it's like nothing ever happened. That was put in just perfectly. Yeah? If it wasn't for the camera, no one would ever know.